Hi guys, welcome back. Just wanted to share with you today a little topic of discussion about community. So when I started this channel a couple of weeks ago now, didn't really think it was going to sort of get any views or subscribers. So I'm really thankful to people that have subscribed and commented. Very thankful for that. So it obviously means that there is a bit of a niche or a growing sort of movement and community talking about what I've been talking about and what some other YouTubers have been saying as well. Definitely life in general at the moment and the struggles that we're encountering is something that needs to be discussed a lot more, I find anyway. And I was talking to a guy yesterday that reached out to me on my channel. He's just started up his own channel in the last few days, just talking about his take on everything and his experiences. So we got together on WhatsApp, had a little chat, and both of us realised that there is definitely some good that can come out of these channels. I mean, when I started this channel, it was mainly just trying to help myself, really, as a form of self-therapy, because I've been down various different roads with that. Went down the medication road, and then found a really good psychologist that I was very grateful to find. Did about 10-12 sessions with him, which was a massive help. But now I just sort of thought, if I can try and help myself sort of by myself. So I decided to start the channel and just talking to the camera. It's been very beneficial for me, I found. Just trying to get my sort of self-confidence back and that sort of thing. But the bonus side of it is that starting to become part of a community of like-minded people. The guy that I was chatting to yesterday, he's got his channel, Clinton Gregor, top bloke. He's got a pretty deep sort of story to tell as well. And we sort of had the idea of getting a few more YouTubers that are doing what we're doing onto the group as well. I think there's 5 of us now on there. So me and Clinton Gregor, we're just starting out, so our channels are pretty small, but there's a couple of guys that have joined in whose channels have got loads of subscribers, and they've just, their channels have blown up really quickly. Just brilliant. I think that's fantastic. But yeah, so when I started my channel, especially when I did my first video, I was actually sort of shitting myself before I could sort of press the record button. I don't know why now, looking back on it, it's pretty stupid, but it's all partly down to having very little self-confidence and going through depression, anxiety, that sort of stuff. I'm not going to go into that now, but so yeah, I remember when I first shot my first video, I was absolutely crapping myself. It took me about an hour to sort of psych myself up to just sort of press the record button and let rip with my thoughts. So yeah, I didn't tell anybody about that I was going to do a channel or anything. Just kept it completely to myself, just because I just wanted it to be something that I could, try and grow organically. Also, when you tell your friends and your family, I'd say 90% of the time, they probably won't get what you're trying to do or where you're coming from. In the past, whenever I've tried to do something a bit different or whatever, especially family members, they're always like, oh, well, why do you want to do that? What's the point? all this sort of crap. They'll just put you down. So I thought, I'm not gonna tell anybody on Facebook or family or friends or anything. Just keep it to myself, sort of thing. I think that's the best way. Because a couple of the guys that are part of this little community that we've started on YouTube and on WhatsApp, the little 5-man group that I'm in. I mean, a couple of the guys that have got fairly big channels now, they've been getting like messages from trolls or whatever, and it just makes you think, what the fuck is wrong with people? I mean, we're in 2025. You'd think the world would be a fairly tolerant place by now, but it's not. It's getting worse. It's becoming more intolerant or intolerant, whatever you want to call it. I mean, when I was a kid, I grew up in Plymouth on a housing estate, and there was like a full mix. Well, there's loads of kids on the estate. There's a full mix of people, different races, different ethnic backgrounds, different religions, and everybody got on. Everyone's parents got on. Didn't matter what walk of life you're from. You know, some of the kids' families were pretty poor, and some are fairly well off. But we all hung around together. Our parents, we'd always invite our mates round and their parents round on a weekend and stuff like that. Have barbecues. Our parents would, have a few beers, a few glasses of wine, that sort of thing. We used to have such a good laugh. There was like a sort of gang of us, a gang of me and my mates. There's probably about 10 to 12 of us. We're a pretty tight crew. From all different ages as well. I think I was probably about the youngest. I would have been about, 7, 8, 9 when I lived there. And the oldest two lads were 15, 16. And our religion collectively back then was football. That's all we used to do. It didn't matter what time of the year it was. We'd always be playing football down the park. And end up having massive games of football. I mean, even if we didn't have enough people to play, there was like a children's home just on the edge of this park. And if we didn't have enough people, we'd just go and knock on the door of the children's home. The supervisor would come out and we'd say, you got any lads that want to play football? And he'd be like, hell yeah. So 5 minutes later, he'd walk out the door with like 20 kids, and we'd just have like a massive game of football. It'd be about 30 of us on the pitch. That's hilarious. Yeah, great times, man, great times. I mean, on the occasions where we couldn't play football, we'd all pile around someone's house that had a Mega Drive. We'd just be playing Sega Mega Drive all day, in the school holidays, that sort of thing. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, that sort of sense of community, I don't think it really exists anymore, especially with the younger generation. They're so obsessed. Well, they've been born with telephones in their hand, smartphones, which is basically a computer. So they're born with that in their hand, and they're so influenced by the fakery and bullshit on social media. They'll think that they're going to have a Lamborghini for their first car, and they're going to have some sort of supermodel wife, and they think that they can get their first job will pay loads of money, but it's not the case. They're going to really struggle. I don't know, generation A and B, I suppose it is now, or whatever. But even, I suppose, generation Z, they're not going to have an easy life. Yeah. I mean, you've got these influencers like the Tate brothers and stuff like that, and it's just absolutely criminal how they brainwash young people, and they're preying on young people to such an extent that they've just got a very misogynistic outlook on life, and not tolerant and racist and all that sort of shit. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, when I was a kid, knife crime didn't exist. ASBOs didn't exist. Kids had respect for their parents rather than just lipping off to everybody. Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs that we're living in at the moment. But one of the sort of aims of trying to build this community on YouTube and the little 5-man group I've got on WhatsApp is to try and sort of go in a completely opposite direction of Andrew Tate, or whatever he's called. Complete psychopath, the bloke. We want to help ourselves, obviously. Help ourselves get out of the shit we're in, but I want it to help other people too. You know, if other people watch these videos and they can relate to them, it's all a good thing. You know, it's positive. Trying to do some good. We're no experts. You know, we're not trained therapists or anything. But I think our generation, you know, people that were born in the early 80s, grew up in the 90s, you know, we've sort of been around the block a bit now. I mean, I started work when I was 16. I'm 42 now. So I've seen a few things. I've met a hell of a lot of interesting people. I met a lot of wrong uns as well. But I think that if we can just sort of impart the knowledge that we've accrued, if it can help our generation and the generations to come as well, yes, it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, community. Trying to build a community that's sort of meaningful. It's got a purpose. It's got a direction. Trying to change the system and people's outlook. Trying to make it better. It's not easy, but you know, if people watch these videos and they get a bit of sort of relief from life, you know, because sometimes it is easy to think that you're going through it all by yourself, but you're not. You know, there are other people that are experiencing the same thing. So yeah, working together, that's what we need to do, and just trying to make a positive difference in the world. So I'll let you crack on with your day. Leave a comment. I'll get back to you. I always do. I do appreciate all the comments. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. Enjoy the rest of your day. Keep smiling. Keep your chin up. Don't let the bastards grind you down if you're getting trolled or bullied at work or on social media, or even by your family or friends or whatever. Shit comes from all directions at the end of the day. So thanks once again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay? Alright, be lucky. Bye bye.